Wait
Hello,
lang
good
po.
morning. Nakikita niyo po ba yung share screen?
Yes.
Opo, ma'am.
Yes,
Good morning po.
ma'am.
Apo. Wait lang po saglit. Hinaayos ko lang yung ano ko. So, good morning po sa ating lahat. Naririnig niyo po ba ako?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Apo.
ma'am.
Pasensya na at medyo hindi kasi naghahang tong ano, yung laptop ko. Wait lang po saglit. Ayun. So, good morning po sa ating lahat. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat at nag-join po kayo dito sa webinar natin ngayong umaga. Thank you sa oras na binigyan nyo sa akin para makinig sa aming counting lecture para sa about job opportunity ng nursing dito sa ating bansa at sa abroad po. So, ready na po ba tayo makinig sa umpisan ang ating seminar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Yes, ma'am.
So, wait lang po, saglit at na ano to yung ano, yung laptop ko, inaayos ko lang. So, ayan po. So, bago po ang lahat, let me pag-usapan po natin ang konting background about nursing. What is nursing? Nursing is the protection and promotion and optimization of health and abilities, prevention of illness and injury, alleviation of suffering through the diagnosis and treatment of human response, and advocacy in the care of individuals, families, communities, and populations. Ayun po yung definition po ng nursing by American Nurses Association. So ang meaning po dito, yung nursing is the protection, promotion, and optimization of health and abilities. Ibig sabihin po ay yung napangalagahan natin ang bibigay tayong pahalaga, promotion about sa health, and magbibigay ng we get out of the most about para sa kakayanan natin para sa pagpuksa ng mga illness and injury through the diagnosis and treatment of human response and communities and populations. So next mo. Nursing as a profession. Professional nursing defines as an art and science dominated by an ideal of service in which certain principles are applied in the skillful care of the well and the ill. and through relationship with the client, patient, significant others, and other members of the health team. So ang nursing as a profession ay sinasabing art or meaning. It is an art because we are using our critical thinking or our compassion and our compassion and science dahil lahat ng ginagawa natin ay base sa pagsisiyasat ng siyensa at yun ang ginagamit natin para makapagbigay ng health service para sa ating pasyente. Next. Definition of a nurse. The nurse is a person who has completed a program of basic generalized nursing education and is authorized by the appropriate regulatory authority to practice nursing in his or her country. So ang nurse ay isang taong who has completed a program, yun yung 4-year course na kaya natin na kinukuha na Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Pag natapos natin ito, we are authorized na pwede nating i-apply or para mag-practice ng nursing sa ating bansa. Next. So, ito na po. Nursing in the Philippines. Bago tayo makapag-practice ng nursing sa Pilipinas, you must be a graduate in a credible nursing program like Bachelors of Science in Nursing o tapusin ang 4-year course para makakuha ng diploma. Next is that you must pass the board exam and obtain a license from the Philippine Regulatory Commission or PRC. So, after nating mag-graduate at makapag-board at nakapasa tayo, makakuha tayo ng license natin to practice nursing. So, we can go and apply sa makapaghanap na tayong i-apply ang nursing, makapaghanap ng trabaho. So, next. So, once you get an examination, clearance, and practice license from the board, you can explore a number of job opportunities in your choice of specialization. So, ayun, pwede mo nang i-apply ang pagkaka-nurse mo, makapagpili ng specialization kung saan mo gusto. A registered nurse is eligible to apply for jobs in public and private hospitals, nursing institutions, and one can also be an independent nurse practitioner and open up a clinic of their own. So, RNs can work in a variety of healthcare settings, including hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, outpatient settings, physician offices, clinics, insurance companies, government, community health, elementary or high schools, universities, correctional healthcare facilities. So ito yung mga healthcare settings na pwede nating applyan kapag tayo ay nakakuha na ng license natin sa nursing. So, ngayon, we will talk about the fields of nursing, kung saan tayo pwedeng makapag-apply. So first is the institutional nursing or hospital nursing. Institutional nursing or hospital nursing refers to nurses who are working in the hospitals, nursing home, and home for the aged. So, ito yung mga nurses na nagtatrabaho sa hospitals, nursing home, and home for the aged. So, ang advantage natin dito sa sa institutional nursing or hospital nursing, there's a supervisor whom one can consult if problem exists. May supervisor tayo na pwede nating lapitan kapag nagka-problema man tayo, example sa ating trabaho or sa ating pasyente or whatsoever na sa ating related dun sa ating trabaho. So may supervisor na pwede nating lapitan para mabigyan ng solution yung problema. So next is nurses are updated with new trends in medicine. Kagaya ngayon na may COVID na ngayon na may COVID, nurses are updated kagaya sa mga vaccines or mga ano ba yung mga dapat nating gawin, new trends about dun sa sa bagong new trends in medicine. So next is they undergo rotations to different units and have a chance to determine their special care area. So dito kapag nurse ka sa hospital, pwede kang mapunta sa iba't ibang department or ward sa hospital. Example sa ER, pwede kang pumunta sa may rotations tayong mga nurses kung saan natin pwedeng mahasang ating abilidad or pwede nating makita kung saan ba tayo magaling. Example sa ER, sa medical ward, ganon. Doon pwede nating mahasang ating specialty. So next is they have an 8-hour and a 40-hour week duty. They have a chance to get promoted compared to private nurses. So sa pagtatrabaho natin pwede tayong ma-promote compared dun sa mga private nurse. Next is salary increase are given periodically. So habang tumatagal tayo sa ating trabaho, syempre tumataas din ang sahod natin. They are considered an important of the health team. Syempre importante din ang ang nurses ay very important sa health team kasi sila yung kapag wala ang nurses, walang mag-aalaga sa mga pasyente. Kagaya ng pagbigay ng gamot, mag-a-assist ng doctors, ganon. So, ayun, we are important sa health team. Disadvantages of nurses working in the hospitals are there is a great possibility of understaffing. So yun, kulang-kulang ang mga nurses sa hospital. Because of that, because of the bulk works, some staff nurses fail to improve their skills or routine. So dahil nga sa kakulangan ng staff, syempre yung ating mga trabaho madadagdagan at yun, nagkakaroon tayo ng we have administrative problems and overwork tends to dissatisfy the staff nurses. Dahil dyan, nagkakaproblema sa administrative and nagkakaroon tayo ng overwork. Dahil nga sa kakulangan ng because of understaffing. So, ano bang mga qualifications of nursing service administrators? So, in section 29 of Republic Act 9173 or the Philippine Nursing Law specifies that person occupying supervisory or managerial positions requiring knowledge of nursing must be a registered nurse in the Philippines, have at least 2 years of experience in general nursing service and service administration, possess a degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing with at least 9 units in management and administration courses at the graduate level, and be a member of a good standing of the accredited professional organization of nurses. Next. So, next is the public health nursing or community health nursing. The role of a public health nurse is to promote public wellness. In this capacity, nurses focus on helping underserved and at-risk individuals gain access to the care they need. The main goal of public health nurses is to help prevent disease and reduce health risks at the population level through evidence-based care education. So, ang public health nursing, ito yung mga community health nursing wherein ang focus natin dito is about community wellness, family and community wellness. So, ang advantages dito ay we only focus on family and the community health. It gives the nurses a better perspective of the health condition of the community. It maximizes the efforts to improvise. Focus of care is more on educational and preventive aspects. So, ito yung magfo-focus na lang tayo sa family and the community health. Nagbibigay karunungan nagbibigay ng perspective about sa condition about sa health ng ating community. Disadvantages: cases found in public health nursing are limited mostly to chronic and communicable diseases. So ang disadvantage dito ay konti lang ang cases na mamimit natin. Hindi kagaya sa ospital na mas marami ang pwede nating matutunan. Kasi dito is chronic lang at communicable diseases ang ating what we call this, ang ating focus. So, there are more hazards in public health nursing than hospital nursing. So, mas maraming hazards na ma-limit natin dito. Example is that yung sa pag-iikot natin sa community, pwede tayong makagat ng aso o kaya sa pag-akyat natin ng bundok, may ahas, matuklaw tayo. So, yun, sample ng hazards sa public health nursing. So, there are no fixed hours of work kasi dito nga parang sa community health nursing is we are always on duty or we are always on call. Kung may nagka-problema man sa community about sa we are always on duty. There is no immediate supervisor to consult in case of emergency. Hindi kagaya sa ospital na may supervisors na pwede nating lapitan. Next. Qualifications are you must be a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and a registered nurse of the Philippines. So next is the school health nursing. School health nursing is responsible for the school activities in the areas of health service, health education, and environmental health and safety. So we are school health nursing is responsible for the school activities. Kung mayroon man mga programa about sa health, sila ang gumagawa ng program o kaya silang nag-o-organize or they are the ones implementing the school health program or sila yung nakikipag-coordinate sa school program. They are the ones that undertaking functions directly related to pupils' health or sila yung kung meron man may emergency man sa school o kaya sila yung tagapag-alaga sa mga bata about sa health ng mga bata sa eskwelahan, ganon. So, next, evaluating school health programs. Yun nga sila yung mga tagapag-organize, coordinate, nag-implement ng mga about sa school health program. Next. Advantages of school nursing is school nursing affords the opportunity to watch children advance from grade in school health. Duty hours are usually good and disadvantages of next i-back mo, Yvonne. Qualifications must have a bachelor's degree in nursing, requires a health skill, kaya mayroon kang specialty about sa mga special skills, specialties ng nursing. At least 1 year experience emergency nursing such as actual nursing experience under the direction of a skillful nurse in this field. Helpful skills includes the ability to take and read ECGs, eye screening, audiometer testing, laboratory tests, and x-rays. So, kailangan na magaling ka sa mga may training ka about dito sa mga binanggit na mga specialties. Kagaya ng ECG reading, eye screening, audiometer testing, and laboratory tests and x-rays. Advantages and disadvantages. Most occupational nurses have to bargain individually for their salaries. Only few employers are enough nurses to make up a bargaining unit. This has hurt salaries in industrial nursing to an extent and pays probably less than in hospital. So mababa lang ang sahod ng nurses dito sa occupational nurses. Often industrial nurses works during day hours. They are off duty during weekends. They are off duty during weekends most often. Industrial nurses works during exception to this are nurses in large plants in which may require overtime work. So kapag a bigger company, ganyan, mas malaki ang binibigay na pwede silang mag-overtime para makapag-overtime para madagdagan ang kanilang salary. These are usually seniority wage increase, pensions, and insurance. So, personal qualities and abilities of faculty members include capability to promote interest in the subject they teach, stimulate the mind of the students, arouse enthusiasm, quicken imagination, and awaken ambition. Competence in the particular field. Competence in the particular field they teach. Resourcefulness with infinite patience, understanding, confidence, able to inspire students to develop their fullest potential, and expertise in providing nursing qualities model. We have trained in special skills of nursing. The group includes nurse practitioners, certified nurse midwives, clinical nurse specialists, and certified registered nurse anesthetists. Examples of APNs who has special who are these special skills. Each APN performs a specific role, although their duties may overlap in some areas. For example, APNs are authorized to prescribe medications. Pwede silang prescribe ng medication. So, ito nga, term advanced practice nursing is term for nurses who have specialized education and experience beyond the basic nursing program. Sila yung mga who have specialized education and experience beyond the basic na nursing. Requires the knowledge and supervised skills obtained through graduate studies, masteral or doctoral. Next. So certified nurse midwives or CNMs are trained in both nursing and midwifery. So sila yung may dalawa ang kanilang, they are trained both in nursing and midwifery. Their role is to provide primary health care to women, especially those of childbearing age who require prenatal labor and delivery care. CNMs are also provide gynecological services to women of all ages, treat sexually transmitted infections, prescribe contraceptives, and manage menopausal symptoms. They also provide care to newborns, focus their obstetrical care on low or moderate risk mothers. So specialty nila ang specialty nila sa OB. So next is the clinical nurse specialist. The clinical nurse specialist or CNS is an expert in a particular area of nursing practice. Her specialty might be a patient population such as pediatrics, a setting such as the emergency room, an illness or health area such as cardiovascular nursing, or a type of medical problem such as chronic pain. A CNS may provide direct care to one or more patients or act as consultant or coach in her area of expertise. Clinical nurse specialties may perform research or interpret, evaluate clinical research performed by others. A CNS may also work in hospitals or nursing organizations as a clinical or professional leader. So next, independent nursing practice. As the term implies independent means that is self-employed and provide professional nursing service to client, patients, and their families. So, ang independent nursing practice means that the nurse is self-employed and provide professional nursing service to client, patients, and this. These are the Yung nabanggit ko kanina mga kwan ay parte ng advanced practice ay mga special ay example ng mga tawag dito example ng mga advanced practice nurses. Next. So next is the private duty nurse or special nursing. Private nurses are nurses in private practice. Nurses in private practice are expected to be an expert clinicians as well as expert generalists in nursing. He is a registered nurse who undertakes to give comprehensive nursing care to a client on a one-to-one ratio. So solo lang siya. There are two categories of private duty nurse. Number one is the general private duty nurse. He or she has the capabilities for providing basic nursing care to any type of patient, among which are assessment of medical condition and of the significance of finding as base for planning the nursing care. Identification of emotional and social factors and relating this to signs and symptoms observed. Application of scientific principles in the performance of nursing techniques, working with patient's family so that they gain understanding of her illness and cooperate towards promoting early recovery of the patient. Utilization of laboratory and diagnostic tests in promoting progress of care and enhancing his or her own usefulness as a health teacher and counselor. Knowledge and recognition of pharmacology effects of drugs and medications, their implications of nursing actions as needed. Interpretation of doctors' orders concerning medicine and treatment and communicating the same effectively to the patient and carrying them out promptly and accurately with understanding of cause and effect. Second is the private duty nurse specialist. In addition to the following abilities expected of the general nurse practitioner and as a result of her specialized preparation, a private duty nurse practitioner specialist also demonstrates the following competencies. She must skills in handling, operating, and monitoring other complicated devices. So marunong siyang mag-handle at mag-operate ng mga complicated devices. Skills interpreting data gathered from ECG, EEG, laboratory, diagnostic results, and vital signs. So marunong siya magbasa ng ECG, EEG at laboratory diagnostic results. He has all symptoms and they're favorable Next. So qualifications of private duty nurse are must be a registered nurse in the Philippines, have the following documents for the current year, a professional tax receipt, PRC license, residence certificate. Number 3, have at least 2 years of bedside nursing experience as a professional nurse in general hospitals immediate prior to applications. So siya ay dapat may at least 2 years of bedside nursing experience. Next is be acceptable to the director of nursing service as suitable for orientation to do private duty nursing. So may so kailangan authorize siya na mag-practice ng private duty nursing. Be a full-time duty nurse. Kailangan maging full-time he will be full-time duty nurse. Preferably have undergone a critical care nursing course. So, kailangan siyang mag-train ng critical care nursing sa private duty nurse kasi kailangan na actually ang mga inaalagaan kasi dito ay mostly yung mga matatanda or yung may mga critical conditions. Kaya kailangan din nilang mag-undergo ng critical care nursing course. She must be a certified IV nurse therapist by the ANSAP or the Association of Nursing Science Administrator in the Philippines. So, kailangan na mag-undergo siya ng IV therapy training. So, advantages of private duty practice, the chance to see life as it is, the chance to see the life as it really is, to study human nature and to know close range interesting people of different nationalities, culture, religion, and status. The opportunity to make real friends through close association with the patient and his family. The chance to travel and see the world. The ability to own time, adjust work, and private life satisfactory and direct of duty time into enjoyable leisure. Next is the chance to keep abreast with new knowledge and procedures which provide an exciting, stimulating experience with infinite variety of problems to solve and personal satisfaction to be gleaned. The challenge of giving his or her best in providing care and having satisfaction of seeing its result. Disadvantages of private duty nurse. Some private nurses create a situation in which the patient is become totally depend on them. So nagiging totally depend sa'yo ang mga pasyente mo. Many private duty nurses are graduated so long ago and have not upgraded their knowledge and skills. There are not enough nurses for evening and night shifts, for holidays, weekends, and periods. Kapalitan sa wala siyang oras or wala siyang kapalitan kapag ang kapalitan wala sa mga shifts or sa siya, kaya hindi niya wala siya time sa mga routines niya sa or for holidays, weekends, and vacation periods kasi wala nga siyang kapalitan. Being a lone practitioner minimize opportunity for developing good relationships with other hospital personnel. Private duty nurses recent supervision by hospital staff. Little the headers does not for relief when the patient cannot be left alone. So private duties have a little or no participation in professional activities. If they ever do, they do so in their own time and expenses. Nurses who are very experienced and well qualified receive the same fees the new graduates. So parehas lang sila ng sweldo sa mga new graduates. Private duty nurses faces problems in private practice, being independent contractors, and there is greater needs for liability insurance. There is no retirement insurance and medicine benefits unless the private duty nurse provide this for her or herself. Next. So military nursing or the nurse course. Military nurses are licensed registered nurses who are contracted to provide medical care specifically to patients in military clinics and hospitals. Much like traditional registered nurses who treat civilians, military nurses monitor wounds for infection, prepare patients for surgical procedures, and administer preoperative and postoperative care for those inside the military. The primary functions and obligations of active military nurses are to treat wounded soldiers and other military personnel. They also treat service members, families, set up military triage in war zones, treat patients worldwide, provide vaccinations to children in developing countries, assist in any humanitarian relief efforts, provide emergency care to victims affected by natural disasters. They also can prescribe medication, work in preoperative settings, applying anesthesia. Qualifications of military nurse. They must be a natural-born Filipino citizen, must be single, 21 to 25 years old, minimum of 5 feet height, of a good moral character, at least 1 year of experience in the hospital, in DOH accredited level 2 hospital, must pass the AFP service aptitude test or the APSAT, must pass the physical and medical examination and physical fitness test. Benefits and privileges: chance to be assigned in the Philippine Army, Philippine Navy, and Philippine Air Force. Progressive career development opportunity for local and foreign schooling. Healthcare and housing benefits, pension and retirement benefits, competitive pay and allowances. So yung gross pay ng second lieutenant is 51,000 starting from 51,679 pesos. So, dito na po tayo sa mga nursing job specialization and the salary. So, makikita natin dito yung mga nursing job specialization, yung mga sahod dito sa specialization na ito. So, how much money does a nurse make in the Philippines? So, magkano po ang kinikita ng nurses dito sa Pilipinas base sa mga specializations nila? So, the average salary ng nurses sa Pilipinas is aabot ng 279,828 annually or yearly. So medyo mababa lang sahod natin mga nurses dito sa Pilipinas, or an equivalent hourly rate of 135 pesos per hour. A nurse working in the Philippines typically earns around 43,000 pesos per month. Salaries ranges from 27 yung pinakamababa to 83,000 pesos yun naman yung pinakamataas. Next. So, dito ipapakita ko yung mga salaries for specific jobs ng nurse. So, yung registered nurse or ito yung job description ng registered nurse is to treats and provides general nursing care to patient in hospital, nursing home, infirmary, or similar healthcare facility, administers prescribed medications and treatments in accordance with approved nursing techniques. Readies equipment and aids physician during treatments and examinations of patients. Observes patient, records significant conditions and reactions, and notifies supervisor or physicians of patient's condition and reaction to drugs, treatments, and significant incidents. So ang trabaho ng nurses dito ay magbigay ng general nursing care to patients sa hospital, nursing home, infirmary, or similar healthcare facility. So ang salary ng registered nurse, the average registered nurse gross salary in the Philippines is 488,515 or equivalent hourly rate of 235 pesos per hour, at 488,000 yung yearly niya, tapos yung sa hourly niya ay 235 pesos. So meron din siyang bonus na 8,012 pesos and 8,012 pesos. So may bonus siya. This is yearly. Ito yung yearly bonus niya. Ang average entry-level registered nurse ay or nurses who have 1 to 3 years of experience have an average salary of 349,000. Ito yung 374 yung annually. Sa mga senior level naman na registered nurse or have may 8 years of experience, they are earning the average salary of 610,026 pesos. So ayan po yung sahod ng registered nurse sa Pilipinas. So medyo okay na. So the critical care unit nurse. So ang job description nito is to treat and provide nursing care to critical care unit patients in hospitals or similar healthcare facility. Reduce equipment and aid physicians during treatments and examinations of patients. Administers prescribed medications and treatments in accordance with approved nursing techniques. Observe patients, records significant conditions and reactions, and notifies supervisor or physician of patient's condition and reaction to drugs, treatment, and significant incidents. So ang salary ng critical care unit nurse ay may average salary na 474,908 yearly, or an equivalent of hourly rate of 228 pesos. In addition, they earn an average bonus of 7,788. An entry-level critical care unit nurse, 1 to 3 years of experience, earns an average salary of 340,130 yearly. On the other end, a senior level critical care unit or may experience na 8 years ay mayroong average salary of 593,735 pesos. So yan po yung salary ng critical care unit nurse. Next. Dito naman sa intensive care unit nurse salary. So, ano ba ang intensive care unit nurse salary? They are nurses who treats and provides general nursing care to patients in the intensive care unit of hospital. So sila yung nasa ICU unit. They administers prescribed medications and treatments in accordance with approved nursing techniques. Readies equipment and aids physician during treatments and examinations of patients. Nag-a-assist sila ng physician. Observes patient records significant conditions and reactions and notifies supervisor or physician of patient's condition and reaction to drugs, treatments, significant incidents. Ang salary ng ICU nurse sa Pilipinas ay may average rate na 474,030 pesos yearly. So ang sahod niya ay 474,030 pesos. or an equivalent hourly rate of 228 pesos. Parehas din lang sa sahod ng mga registered nurse. The average bonus of critical ICU care unit nurse ay mayroon silang 7,727 pesos yearly, and the salary estimates based on salary and entry level intensive care unit nurse, yung may 1 to 3 years of experience ay mayroong sahod na average of 339,501. On the other end, a senior level in yung sa senior level naman, meron siyang average salary of 591,452 pesos yearly. Next po. So next is the nurse license practical. So ang description nito ay nurses who cares for and gives prescribed medical personnel care services to ill, injured, convalescent, and disabled patients in such settings as hospitals, clinics, private homes, school sanitariums, and similar institutions. Takes and records patients' vital signs, dresses wounds, gives enemas, dutches, alcohol rubs, and massage. Applies compresses, ice bags, and hot water bottles. Observes patients and reports adverse reactions to medications or treatment to medical personnel in charge. Administers specified medications orally or by subcutaneous or intramuscular injections, and notes time and amount on patient's charge. So ang salary ng nurse license practical ay may average na 348,077 pesos yearly, or an equivalent of hourly rate of 167 pesos. So 100, mababa lang yung rate niya per hour. So ang bonus niya naman ay mayroon siyang 5,117 pesos yearly, and sa entry level nurse or sa mga entry level nurse, meron silang average salary of 258,222 pesos. Yan yung sahod nila yearly, and yung sa mga seniors naman ay mayroon silang average salary of 428,584 pesos. Next po. Sa nurse anesthetist po. So ang job description po ng nurse anesthetist provides and administers local inhalation, intravenous, and other anesthetics prescribed by anesthesiologists to induce total or partial loss of sensation or consciousness in patients during surgery, deliveries, or other medical and dental procedures. So sila yung mga nag-administer ng anesthesia. The salary of nurse anesthetist ranges from 1,78,859 pesos or an equivalent hourly rate of 519 pesos per hour. So medyo mataas-taas din ang sahod ng mga nurse anesthetist. So ang average bonus nila yearly is meron silang 36,034 pesos. Tapos ang entry level, may entry level nurse anesthetist or mayroong 1 to 3 years of experience ay nagsasahod ng 745,005 pesos yearly, and the senior or yung mga may 8 years pataas na experience ay meron silang sahod na average ng 1,362,707 yearly. So medyo magandang ang nurse anesthetist kasi malaki ang sahod nila. Next po. Nurse practitioner. So ang job description: evaluates, treats, and provides total nursing care to patients under the direction of a physician, administers prescribed medications and treatments in accordance with approved nursing techniques, observes patient and documents condition and reaction to drugs, treatments, and significant incidents, evaluates the outcome of patient care, performs physical examinations and preventive health measures within prescribed guidelines and instructions of physician. So ang salary po ng nurse practitioner ay mayroon silang average, may gross salary na 533,245 pesos or an equivalent hourly rate of 256. Ang mga entry level nurse practitioner ay mayroong average na 375,345 pesos. Tas ang mga senior level nurse practitioner ay mayroong silang 688,617 pesos. Next po. Registered nurse or registered nurse midwife. Registered nurse midwife treats and provides nursing care to obstetrical patients in accordance with approved and recognized standards of midwifery. Evaluates patients, performing initial examinations with physicians, and is assigned responsibility for plan of care, treatment, and delivery of patient. Manages normal labor, deliveries of babies, and teaches patients in prenatal and postnatal health practices, consulting health team as necessary. So ang required qualification po nito ay dapat may certification po siya ng midwifery, nurse midwifery. The average salary naman po nito ay meron silang gross salary na 671,104 pesos or an equivalent of hourly rate of 323 pesos. May bonus silang 14,429 pesos yearly. Ang entry level na registered midwife ay mayroon silang average salary of 473,600 760 pesos. At yung sa senior level naman, they earns an average salary of 840,786 pesos. Next is the public health nurses. So ang job description instructs individuals and families in health education and disease prevention in community health agency. They determines and oversees and ensures the healthcare information is distributed to staff education and outreach programs, develops and implements research programs that promote and create healthy lifestyles for enrollees, visits homes to determine patient and family needs, develops plan to meet needs and provides nursing services. So ang salary po nila ay merong gross salary na 462,180 pesos or an equivalent hourly rate of 222 pesos. Ang bonus naman po nila ay merong 7,164 pesos and the entry-level nurse public health nurse ay meron siyang average salary of 332,911 yearly. At sa mga senior level naman po ay meron silang average salary of 575,717 pesos. Sa emergency nurses naman, emergency nurse treats and provides general nursing care to patients in emergency care unit of hospital. Sila yung mga nasa emergency unit, infirmary or similar healthcare facility, readies equipments, and aids physicians during treatments and examinations of patients, administers prescribed medications, treatments in accordance with approved nursing techniques. The salary of emergency nurse, the gross salary of emergency nurse in the Philippines ranges from 481,931 pesos or an equivalent of our hourly rate of 232 pesos. And they have a bonus of 7,904 pesos. The entry-level emergency nurse has an average salary of 345,160 pesos, and the senior level emergency nurse earns an average salary of 601,804 pesos. Sa psychiatric nurse practitioner naman, job description, they assess patient health problems and needs, develop and implement nursing care plans and maintain medical records, administer nursing care to ill, injured, convalescent, or disabled patients. They may advise patients on health maintenance and disease prevention or provide case management, licensing, or registration required. Ang salary po ng psychiatric nurse Practitioner ay merong 471,397 pesos annually or an equivalent of hourly rate of 227 pesos. Yung average bonus naman po nila ay meron silang 7,260 pesos. Ang entry-level psychiatric nurse ay may average salary of 339,066 pesos. Sa senior naman po ay meron po silang salary of 587,683 pesos. So ayan po yung salary ng psychiatric nurse practitioner. So next topic naman po ay sa opportunities for nurses abroad. So ito po ay di-discuss po ni Miss Yvonne. Miss Athena po.
So, good morning again, everyone. Malinaw po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I am going to discuss the opportunities for nurses abroad. So, we all know naman na in demand ang nurses abroad. Ang first na ilagay ko dito is yung bansang United Kingdom. Wait a minute on my tab. So, United Kingdom. Before you can enter your United Kingdom as a nurse, you need to take an exam which is called IELTS. International English Language Testing System, which is needed for alam ng government ng United Kingdom if you are able to speak and understand their language, because in basic English like US English, iba po yung English nila sa UK. So many hospitals in United Kingdom are recruiting nurses increasingly from overseas to alleviate acute shortages. Meron din kasing shortages sa UK ng nurses. So Filipino nurses are recruited and also from other countries all over the world. For the following ethical approval, 120 questionnaires po yung distributed. Data were collected from 45 of the questionnaires and 8 semi-constructed interviews. Sorry. Participants were asked the reasons for the migration. Before kasi magma-migrate ang kunwari family, kasi in the United Kingdom, if you were like 10 years na nag-work doon, mayroong tendency na pwede mo nang kunin yung family mo. That's the great opportunity if mag-work ka sa United Kingdom. And pre-arrival expectations, their thoughts of the trust adaptations of the program and their good and bad experiences. They were also asked to evaluate the opportunities they were given for the training and career development in the trust. So, So it was concluded that participants had high expectations of earning more money. Of course naman, di ba? Hindi naman tayo mag-a-abroad if maliit lang naman yung sasahurin din natin doon. So ang basic salary nila annually or we call yearly is like 25,412 pounds or equivalent to 1,691,195 pesos. That is yearly. So isang taon ka palang mag-work abroad or in United Kingdom, pwede ka nang maging milyonaryo or milyonarya. That's the great thing or nice opportunity if you are working abroad. So the next naman na country na maganda din ang opportunity is United. Of course, we know naman na mataas din ang demand nila for nurses. Before you can enter or work in United States, you need to pass the exam which we call Nclex RN exam. It is a national council licensure examination for the nurses because it has one purpose, which is to determine if it's safe for you to begin practice as an entry-level nurse. It is significantly different from any test that you took in nursing school. While nursing schools exams are knowledge-based, the Nclex RN is test application and analysis using the nursing knowledge you learn in school. Ibibigay nila ito for critical thinking skills and if tama ang magiging nursing judgment mo while working there. Kasi alam naman natin, United States, konting lang ano ka na agad nila yung idedemanda. Uso kasi ang demanda sa United States. So, isa din yun sa medyo disadvantage working there as a nasa medical field. So, United States, the Philippines is the largest exporter of nurses worldwide. Alam naman natin yan. For many decades, the country has consistently supplied nurses to the United States. The Philippines is a job-scarce environment, and even for those with jobs in the healthcare sector, national opinion has generally focused on the improved quality of life for individual migrants and their families. Kasi if you are working in the United States as a nurse, pwede mo ding makuha yung family mo. And the registered nurses brought in the median salary of $71,730 per year. And pwede ba siyang tumaas ng 3.7%, which is nagiging 48,690 to 104,100. That is yearly. So that cost like pag 48,690 that is equivalent to 2,328,000 pesos 842. That is yearly. Up to 104,000 pesos 100 which means nagiging 4,979,000 pesos 103 yearly na sahod yon. So ang pangit lang kasi if you were working in the United States, maraming babayaran. Mataas din ang cost of living doon. Unlike sa UK na medyo mas mababa ang cost of living. In United States kasi, if you are permanent na doon and nakakuha ka ng permanent job doon and it's not contractual job, magkakaroon kasi ng maraming babayaran. Like, kunwari, kukuha ka ng bahay, the house is insurance, you will pay din that. I think yearly. Kasi ang pangit if you're working in the United States, pero malaki talaga. So, next is pay. Of course, we know naman na Dubai is one of the great na kumukuha ng Filipino nurses. So, Filipino nurses professionals are in demand in the Middle East, and wonderful opportunities are available to work and travel in this amazing region. The United Arab offers health professionals the opportunity to work in nations in UAE is present licensing arrangement, and of course iaano nila yung salary for health professionals wanting to work either in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. As such, agreement between these two locations can vary. Nurses and health professionals typically employed on a contract basis for periods of 1 year, 1 or 2 years. If nag-expire na yung contract, it is depends to the hospital if i-renew nila yung contract mo depending on your on how you work. So exceptions to this may be possible for more senior positions. Hospitals in the UAE are state-of-the-art and provide high levels of clinical care. Nurses are required in many specialties, including ICU, emergency, acute, and surgical. So, salaries are typically comparable to those in Australia, but there may be a number of additional benefits that make the remuneration very attractive. Salaries paid tax-free. Of course, we know na if you work in UAE, salaries there are paid tax-free. Yun yung isa sa mga advantages ng UAE. And the cost of living there is not that high. Furnished accommodation, yearly bonuses, free flights, free recreation services like gym membership and bonus overtime pay, 6 to 10 weeks vacation per year, free medical and emergency healthcare. So yun yung mga attractive na bonuses if you work in UAE. So salary there is 4,000 to 8,000 AED monthly. That is equivalent to 52,147 pesos to 104,584 pesos. That is monthly. So this is the last example ng abroad na kinuha ko, which is the Germany. This is one of the greatest country na pwedeng pag-workan ng Filipino nurses. So before you can enter Germany as a nurse, you need to pass the German language exam, which is mag-aaral ka, I think, dito sa Pilipinas, or if you are working in other countries, you can also take the German language exam. Dito sa Pilipinas, you can take the German language exam for, I think, 4 to 6 months. Dito is after you can take 2 exams, I think. If you fail the first exam, you can take another exam after you fail the first. So the opportunities of as a Filipino nurse at Germany and other European countries. So Germany had been a popular destination for Filipino nurses for many years. The demand has especially increased in recent years and will keep increasing in the future. The Philippines is one of the few countries in the world with a surplus of qualified nurses. This is also the reason why so many of them can't find a job within the country and forced to go abroad. Of course, we know naman na madaming Filipino nurses dito sa Pilipinas, pero madaming hospitals pa rin ang understaffed because they don't want to work here because of the low salary. Filipino nurses have excellent chances of a career in Germany. In order to work in Germany, nice and have German language skills. Ito yung German language test of level B2 as a minimum. Many recruiting agencies and the German government itself is ready to help qualified Filipino nurses to find employers in Germany. Last year, they get, I think, 600 plus nurses. Pinayagan DOH yung bansa because of COVID. So, nurses in Germany can choose between many different places to work, such as clinics and hospitals, early or retirement homes, and nursing homes. Pwede din sa dormitory for people with disabilities, practices of specialist doctors, outpatient service, rehabilitation centers, and private companies. So, pwede kang mamili if you want to work there. Hindi yung employer mo ang mamimili kung saan ka ipupunta. Pero pwede kang mamili ng kung saan mo gustong madestino. So salary in Germany starts to 30,437 euro to 40,000 euro. That is yearly, equivalent to 1,759,836 pesos to 2,312,223 pesos. So, ito yung this is the starting salary for Filipino nurses in Germany. So, sa objectives naman tayo. Of course, meron namang disadvantage and advantage ang work abroad. So, have you been thinking lately to work as an OFW or like a Filipino? Whatever reasons you have in mind at the moment, kindly evaluate and have awareness kasi hindi madali yung OFW. If your action will be worth it. I believe working as an OFW is never been meron kang consequences in the way. So let's put to the advantages of working abroad. So, of course, higher income and better employment benefits. Working here in the Philippines, in our own country, advantages din, pero working abroad has also have great advantages, such as yung income. The primary reason why we're willing to go abroad for work in spite of all the odds is that working abroad can financially rewarding. Yes, sobrang rewarding mag-work abroad because of the higher income. What will earn in a year in the Philippines can only be earned abroad in few months. Further, if you're lucky enough to find a great company, there are some overseas company that can provide excellent benefits that extend up to your immediate family, such as travel expenses, housing allowance, sponsorship, and health benefits. So, ito yung isa sa mga advantages na if you will find a great company, meron silang ibibigay na travel expenses, or meron ding housing allowance, sponsorship, and of course, the health benefits. One of the outstanding benefits I am looking forward and greatly appreciate is that you can even bring your family with you abroad and at company expense. Ito yung isang example ng country na ganito yung you can bring your family is UK. UK will, if you will find a great company at UK, pwede nilang i-sponsor yung family mo to go with you if you were like 5 years working there at the company. So another is yung travel and experience working abroad. So working overseas will provide a great opportunity to discover new places, of course, meet fresh and foreign faces, and learn their culture, traditions, and ways of life. Of course, working and traveling abroad is makakakilala ka ng iba't ibang tao. Makakapag-travel ka in other places if mahaba yung mga day offs mo, ganon. And number 3 is global career and profession marketability. An overseas work experience will always have its advantages than locally employed. Having an overseas work experience can give you a unique understanding and will prepare you to develop the sets of skills required in global perspective. Kagaya ng din natin, din work abroad, to galing siya sa abroad. So, yung global and yung marketability niya is malawak. That's the one of advantages if you are working abroad. So, number 4 is independence and better lifestyle. When you're far away from your home, you do not have a choice but to live on your own, of course. Being away from your family and friends, you surely will have no one to depend on but yourself. However, to live and survive overseas has its advantage, for you will greatly polish your independence. Another thing about working and living alone in overseas that you usually decide to settle in or for the other countries where the economy and security are far better from our native land. So number 5 is prestige and recognition. Prestige and recognition is ma-realize mo sa sarili mo na meron ka na palang meron ka ng magandang na-accomplish sa buhay mo, and meron yung mga ma-realize mo na you are a successful person because you're having an economic life. Makukuha mo din yung self-esteem mo. You will boost your self-esteem. So, of course, meron din mga disadvantages working as an OFW or nurse abroad. So, number 1 is yung homesick and loneliness. Of course, being independent, and if mag-isa ka working abroad, maho-homesick ka and malulungkot ka at times. Indisputably, even only for a thought of not seeing your family for a very, very long time, kasi there are countries na contractual like 2 years, so 2 years mo din hindi makikita yung family mo, or worse, merong countries na magbibigay sa'yo ng 4 to 5 years na contract. So how much more if yung contract mo is that long, di ba? It's not easy decision to work abroad, leaving your loved ones behind, because you will never know what will be the effect to you and to your family. Meron kasing syempre na minsan umaalis sila ng bansa, pagbalik nila is hindi na sila close. Dati close sila ng kapatid niya, ngayon hindi na sila naging close. In reality, specifically couples whose partner is far away from them and do not take such condition positively, working abroad usually results to shaky relationship or even worse. So, of course, meron din naman yung kunwari, kaya mas magandang mag-abroad ng single. I'm not saying that as an offensive, but yun kasi yung reality na merong mga husband and wife, if your wife or husband is working abroad, tendency, nagkakaroon sila ng shaky relationship or even worse, break up, or yung yung babae, yung ganong story. And the relationship are destroyed. And if they have kids, they usually the ones who suffered the unpleasant outcomes. That is why I am telling na mas magandang mag-abroad ng single. So it's up to you to decide which is better. You take your family with you abroad, or you return to your own country and be united with your partner or family. But while you're apart from them, take time to spend with them no matter how busy you are through constant communication. Other thing is that when you're in a foreign land, you are probably alone. You may or may not like the place where you will stay, maybe because of the environment conditions, or as saying goes, a place is only as good as the people you know in it. Of course, working in abroad, syempre hindi mo naman kilala yung mga taong nandun. But sometimes, nakaka-establish tayo ng friendship working abroad. Yun yung good thing na kapag nag-friendly ka working abroad, you will establish like friendship on other nationalities din. Culture shock. So, syempre, as yung culture natin, at times na mako-culture shock tayo sa culture nila. Often, this happens when you are new in a place. The place and environment may seem to be mysterious and hard to cope up. Just don't get nervous, for it's normal, and for whatever will happen, you'll get used to during time. Siyempre, yun yung time na if mako-culture shock tayo, maninerbiyos tayo. Siyempre, anong gagawin ko? Hindi ko alam yung kultura nila. Baka i-take offense nila itong gagawin ko kasi ito yung tama sa kultura ko. So, masasanay ka din sa culture nila in no time. And yun nga yung laging sinasabi, if you work abroad, respect other cultures. Yun yung ngayon pa lang na, wait lang. Yung habang students pa lang tayo, di ba laging sinasabi ng CIs natin na respect other culture. If culture nila yon, you need to respect. So always be positive and make friends. Familiarize yourself, and once you get used to it, you will have different perspective of your surroundings. Syempre, pag nasanay ka na, ito pala yung kultura nila, itry kong i-cope. Pag na-cope mo na yung kultura nila, masasanay ka, and then you will have, iba na yung magiging tingin mo sa kultura nila. Number 3 na disadvantage working abroad is, of course, discrimination. Unfortunately, I hate to say, but most foreign, especially first world country, treat OFW as third class and cheap labor in terms of job positions, compensation, and other benefits. They tend to give us fewer opportunities and offer lower labor rate for the same exact works that they are usually highly paid in other nationalities. Of course, number 1 na country ngayon na sikat for discrimination is US. Asian hate ngayon. So, if you are working abroad and you get discriminated, of course, you need to stand firm. Pero dapat outside the hospital na, because we cannot fight inside the hospital. That is like against. If you are parang getting discriminated, you need to stand firm, and you need to show them that Filipinos are not that easily discriminated. Of course, we need to fight back din kasi in positive way. We need to fight back. Para kasing pangit if you will let anybody, lalo na in other countries, na hahayaan mo lang silang i-discriminate ka. So, another one is temporary employment and underemployment. Being an OFW is a volatile situation where you can where your contract can be cut short anytime, with or without notice. What is scary about being an OFW is the uncertainty of your employment or your or your employer. For there are less fortunate OFW who receive less than what they signed in the contract, or their employer are crazy and mad enough to treat them not as an employee but slave. Of course, meron naman yung situation na pag OFW ka or nurse ka abroad is hindi ka nila makikita as a nurse, makikita ka nila as utusan. Ganon. Isa yun sa disadvantage working as an OFW or nurse. Tapos, meron din yung minsan kapag minamalas ka, meron yung employer mo or yung employment mo na ika-cut short nila yung contract mo. So, if na-cut short yung contract mo, ang tendency nun, you will go back to your country. And so, number 5 is spending hard-earned money recklessly. Of course, dahil nga malaki ang sahod, meron yung tendency na, naman yung sahod ko, bibilhin ko to, ay, bagong labas yung iPhone 12, bibilhin ko to, malaki naman yung sahod ko. It's okay to treat yourself kasi nga mahirap naman ang OFW or nurse abroad. But sometimes we need to think if that's a necessity or yung want mo lang and it is not needed. Parang ganon. Now that you're receiving more than what you earned before, are you spending it wisely? Yun nga yung sinasabi ko. One of the typical Filipino behavior kasi is that we tend to spend and buy what we like when we receive our hard-earned money and save what it is left. Why not to do it around save first then spend what it is left? Kunwari, you are earning like 40,000 US dollar a year, or like sabihin na lang natin yung monthly mo, you are earning like 4,000 to 5,000 monthly. If you are earning like that, syempre, if swerte ka and you are not renting, you can save yung pang-rent mo. And you can save also for ang iiwan mo na lang dapat is yung allowance and for food purposes. Yun yung maiiwan. If you need to treat yourself, you can spend a few bucks or like $100 to treat yourself. That is like monthly. And you need to invest also because you are earning that money hard enough. You are already earning and set aside some extra cash, you may consider investing your money. Syempre, meron kasi yung investment na tinatawag natin. Syempre, if you are working abroad, you need to invest here in the Philippines also. Kunwari, ako, if I am working on the one of the top countries like Germany, syempre mag-iisip ako, anong magandang investment ko sa Pilipinas para pag uuwi ako, meron akong aasahan na investment ko. Kunwari, palayan, ganon. I will save money to buy palayan para pag uwi ko, meron akong makikita na ito pinaghirapan ko to. Kumikita ako dahil pinaghirapan ko to. Parang ganon. Another reality check for OFW is that you must be cautious when you're sending huge remittances to your family and relatives at home because there are those, syempre, one of your relatives who will take advantage of it. Syempre, meron kakilala ka lang kapag may kailangan na family member. Of course, meron tayong ganyan. I'm not saying this as lahat ko, pero meron talaga sometimes na meron tayong relatives na andyan lang pag may kailangan. Kunwari kapag abroad ka, before ka nakapag-abroad, hindi ka niya kinakausap or whatever. Ngayon nakapag-abroad ka, ay, sis, andyan ka na pala. Pwede pa utang. Ganon. Meron tayong relative na ganon. Or sometimes friends din. So, meron yung tendency na iti-take advantage nila yon. They will think that just because you work abroad, you are well off. You are well off, which is usually more often and not the case. That giving financial aid would not make a dent at your finances. Of course, sabihin nila na laki naman yung sahod mo, pautang naman ng friendan. konti lang singilin nila, pakibigay naman yung 20,000 sa family ko kasi kailangan nila. Ay, ano ba yan? Ba't hindi ka na lang magpadala? Marami ka namang pera. May mga relatives na ganon. So, this is where the conflict usually begins. Diyan na nagkakaroon ng away. So, ito yung conclusion. Working overseas has its happiness and challenges. Of course, there is anxiety and fear at the same time, excitement and pleasure. Well, it is in fact and mixed emotion. Syempre, meron tayo yung happy tayo kasi nakapag-abroad tayo. That is like a fulfillment. Nevertheless, it is up to you to decide if being an OFW will suit you. But as mentioned earlier, do not be misled to think that it is the only way to improve your current situation. Syempre, meron din naman yung times na meron yung mga taong perfectly fit for working abroad. Meron yung mga tao na perfectly fit naman to work locally. And hindi naman yung nakakababa ng situation or yung pagkatao ng isang tao na porket if you have job here in the Philippines, hindi ka nakapag-abroad, hindi ka kasi magaling, ganun. It's not that. There are still a lot of ways and opportunities out there to be successful. For I do believe anyone can be successful person if only he or she can focus on his or area of expertise. Syempre, meron tayong mga expertise. Makikita natin yan as time goes by na kung ano ang area of expertise mo. Doing the proper approach with the fear, dedication, and outstanding perseverance, pwede mong makita kung ano yung area of expertise mo to be a successful person. So, yun lang po, ate. Thank you your participation, guys. We appreciate your presence right now na sinamahan niyo po kami for conducting our seminar. So, information lang po, we have we will conduct another seminar on May 12th. Wait lang, share screen ko lang. Screen ko lang, guys.
Seminar. I'd like to greet everyone. Good morning, and can we give a virtual clap to our presenters, please? Ayan, sige na, bigyan natin sila ng virtual clap. Ayan. Giving us an impressive seminar. So I hope you were able to learn a lot from the topics, which is opportunities from local and international. So I would just like to share some good points coming from the lecturers. No, so by the way, your lecturers are in subject